Welcome back to episode 2 of building the ultimate Jurassic World Evolution 2 park. So, continuing from where we were off last time, we are starting to build down here to build some dinosaur enclosures. Now, bear with me, this episode is kind of all over the place and I get sidetracked a few times, so just so you're aware. But first I start off with building an area for plaza, like just a little place you can go when you get off. I end up building some restaurants and restrooms and stuff for the guests, which I don't know, realistically in zoos that I've been to, there's always little areas that have restaurants, gift shops and stuff. It's not just at the entrance, it's also just throughout the park, you know? But yeah, so just working on that, adding some of the small buildings. The small buildings just work the best because they don't take up as much space and you're able to add multiple, you know? So it looks like there's more, but there's really not, you know? So I extend the path that way, and then I decide to build a little area for some bunkers, because just in case, you never know. There's Ian Malcolm's chaos theory, you know, life finds a way. So we got to prepare for that kind of scenario, even though that would never happen in the ultimate dino park in Jurassic World Evolution 2, you know? But hey, we got to prepare. It's better safe than sorry, you know? So just decorating the area. I thought it'd be cool to put the maintenance shed right there. Thought it'd be a little neat Easter egg. So yeah. And as you can see, I get sidetracked and rediscover the aquatic viewing gallery. I think it is so cool to have that kind of way to look into the enclosure, and just it brings a new perspective to the enclosure, you know? And I think perspective is so important in any kind of build or park or just anything. Perspective is key. So I decided to add some decorations down at the bottom because, like I said, it's gotta look good from every perspective. But I don't go too crazy. I just add some kelp, add some coral, you know. That's about it. And yeah, see, I don't know why some of the kelp glitched in the viewing gallery. I will probably take care of that issue off camera because it was just a pain to figure out why that happened. So I'll figure it out eventually. So right now we are building the first enclosure. It's very exciting. So I like to use the grade 5 fences, and I like the see-through ones, and then I use the solid ones around where you will not be seeing the dino, you know? Why spend time building a fence that you can see through when no one's gonna be looking through it? So then I go around and think of what to add on the other side, and eventually I settle for a little plaza. Now, this is really annoying. So some of the footage was lost yet again, but I built a little plaza area with some food trucks. I got the idea for the food trucks from a YouTuber named Legion. His link will be in the description of the video that I discovered that idea. So right now I'm working on a little staff area right there. I always think it's important to have little staff areas, which makes it a little more realistic. And you know, it is a dinosaur park, so the security's got to be top notch, you know. So then I'm using some of these rocks to help decorate this little area to kind of block off that area from view of the guests, which just to be immersive in the realism of the park, you know. You're in a dino park, not a bunch of security, so try to hide that way as much as possible because, you know, it's realistic. So then I start to find a way to extend the path, so I go that way. And I kind of like the variation in height. So then next, I try to find a place for a hatchery. I never really thought of a place for it. And, you know, it's kind of important saying where the dinos come from, you know. And I did mess with the dino that's going to be added, but I'm going to wait for that reveal later in the episode. Because, you know, it's the first dinosaur. Not the first creature. The first creature was the mosasaur. But as I've said before, that is a marine reptile, not creature. I mean, not dinosaur. Man, English is great. I always say that in all my videos. So, I'm working on the enclosure right now, trying to smooth it out a bit so it looks nice. And then I extend the path this way a little bit just to get an idea of where more stuff is going to go and kind of complete this main oval shape. Don't know really what to call it. And then as you can see here, I add another staff area, which again I always think is important. And I've already explained this like 50 times, but you know what, might as well explain it again. Yeah, so then just cover that up, and then I go back to working on the enclosure, and I'm just kind of messing with a few of the brushes, just seeing how they look. And then I kind of mix the brushes together, try to get an interesting look. And then I tried painting a little bit there to make it look a little more like a tiny mountain, I guess. Yeah, I like how that turned out though, for what it was. Then I added another bunker, because you never know, better be safe than sorry. And just kind of smoothing it out. And then as you can see, I'm all over the place in this video. I'm building the area over here. Plan on using that visitor center. I know I said earlier in the last video that I was not going to use that thing because in some instances I don't think it looks good, but I thought in that one spot I was like, looks pretty good. Just I feel like I've played this game before, and I've used that at the end of my main street all the time, and I feel like a lot of people do, and I wanted to be different, and the building's just an interesting building. That's what I think in general. It still looks cool, but interesting. Then over here I'm kind of adding a tour that takes you over there. I think it's was a cool idea to have it where you go on this car tour or whatever that takes you to this other area. I've been to a few zoos that kind of do stuff like this, and I kind of wanted to do something like that, So then I start building another enclosure. So we're not getting just one dino on this episode, we're getting two. Isn't that crazy? I know, it's mind-blowing stuff. But again, it's the same procedure as the last enclosure. I like to use the grade 5 see-through gates and the ones that you can't see through. And I'd be sure that the gates for the tour cars are working. Tour buses, I think they're buses or trucks. Tour vehicles, that's what we're gonna go with. So now back to the other enclosure, I'm kind of just adding water and kind of smoothing it out. So back into the other enclosure, our dino has arrived. So I decided to go with the Allosaurus in this enclosure. Isn't this awesome, man? That they just look beautiful. And I had to look for Allosaur number 1, and we're going to be naming him Alex. So as the screen pauses, you're going to see, boom, now it's Alex. And if you have name suggestions for the others, please let me know. So quickly decorating this other enclosure. As you can see, the dinos are on their way for the second enclosure. So I just went with a simple forest backdrop behind that lake and added a feeder right there. So as we zoom in, we got the Ceratosaurus. Again, another exciting creature. So if you caught on, this little area is focused on the Jurassic time period, and I've decided that different areas in the park are going to represent different time periods of when the dinosaurs were on. And this first area is the Jurassic period. I mean, it is Jurassic World. So as you can see, I'm starting work on the plaza right here. I don't go too crazy on it just yet because I'll probably do that in a later episode. But just adding a fountain there, and that's pretty much all I do. That area, I try to come up with different ideas how to fill up that space. And I place a zipline there, Now, looking back at it, I don't know if I 100% like that idea, since there's already a zipline in the park, and just, I don't know, I don't see a need for two, and it's just, looks weird. So, like, sorry for that, but just, it looks weird in that area, and I'll probably be changing. So right now, I'm just using the little planters to just block off the path, so guests don't go running off. You know, we want to keep them on the path, because if we want them to see the beautiful dinosaurs in this ultimate park, they gotta stay on the path. So I did a few shops there, so kind of finish off the little plaza. And that concludes the second episode. So as we come into the dinosaur enclosure and get the perfect opportunity for a screenshot, which is probably the title card. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. It's been a little bit all over the place, but again, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.